James is just was just so influential for me because again, it was when I was graduating high school and just getting out in the world, and they represent everything that to me rock and roll was about in the sense of just incredibly amazing rock, but it has a point.
It is time.
So Jane's Addiction was an influential band for me, as they were the first kind of, after I went through my classic rock phase in high school, they were kind of the band that brought me out of that and got me really into new alternative live music at the time. And they also were extremely influential with summer camp because when they started Lollapalooza, the first Lollapalooza, they announced that they were going to break up as a band. So me and my friends went on Lolla tour, and we went to like 5 or 6 of the first Lollapaloozas back in what was that, 91, I think, 90 or 91.
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind because that was the Gulf War was going on, and there were all these messages that they were putting up about the war and the oil industry, and the fact that people were dying for oil, and they had all these different booths that were informing people about environmental causes and things, and it really just kind of opened my eyes to the fact that you can utilize the music business to still make a difference in the world, and hopefully affect social change. And that's a big part of what we do with summer camp. We have our Soulshine Make a Difference program that we do every year, where we have a lot of different workshops and different things that are involved. So James was just a hugely influential band for me, and in particularly for the festival, because that Lollapalooza was certainly an influence on me in getting me to want to start my own festival and do my own thing. So that's why I wanted to pick them. And Had a Dad's one of my favorite songs of theirs. It's just a really cool rock song.
Let's go ahead and check it out. It's Jane's Addiction, Had a Dad, here on Galaxy Jams Reacts.
I still vividly remember the mosh pit at the Aragon Ballroom when this song was playing, and just how incredibly crazy it was and how much fun.
What a guitar.
Yeah. Navarro's a beast. I believe it was 2013 or 14 we finally got Jane's Addiction to the festival, and that was really exciting for me.
Oh, that would be great.
Look how funky it is too.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a whole tour with Flea as their bass player, but now Eric A., the original bass player, is back, which is incredible because I always loved him.
Yeah, he's great. The thing I always liked most about Jane's Addiction, they're a huge favorite of mine back in the late 80s. They broke me out of a terrible glam band phase I was in with the hair metal. And I was just like, what is this? This is awesome. This guy, man, who is this Perry guy? Like, listen to that voice. What is that?
With his dreads and the whole thing. Yeah,
and
it was
he
so
was
cool.
insane on stage. Their party on stage was legendary for their early shows. They had like just people dancing on stage, and like they were just dressed like nobody else dressed on stage, and they brought the party. The party was amazing. The early years of that band was, and they still do it, and they still bring a really cool show. But their early years, man, there was like, is this gonna like end up bad? Is this gonna end up bad for everybody at the show? What is gonna happen?
Like a riot, might
like,
go on.
Because like saying like the mosh pit and everything was crazy, and then like they would just encourage it, and they would just like, and he would just start spouting out stuff and getting the crowd all riled up about some kind of thing he's talking about, or calling bullshit on this, or yelling at somebody in the crowd, and it was just an incredible thing to watch. And if you ever have a chance to check out their fan video, it's pretty crazy. They put out this fan video. It was bizarre.
And that says a lot about probably where my tastes go that you see in summer camp, because that was like right when I graduated high school. So I was going to see Jane's Addiction, and it was also, I went to my first Grateful Dead shows, and so I was going on Dead tour and doing Grateful Dead and Jane's Addiction, and such a clash in what the two of those were, but amazing. Although I would see Steven, in drum circles in the parking lot. Steven Perkins, the drummer, he was a huge Deadhead as well.
Yeah,
so it was really cool.
That's funny. I brought up the other day that Steven Perkins' side thing that he did, where he brought in like Flea and a whole bunch of other guys, and does the Banyan. Band. That was great. It was all improv, and
we've had them at summer camp.
It's great stuff. If you guys like that kind of thing, what do you think, Mike?
Yeah, Ian, I really like how you brought up the Grateful Dead, because I actually was thinking of the Grateful Dead while this band was playing, and one of the things I was thinking of is that I've been calling the Grateful Dead like legend generators, right? Like it's not just the music, it's like the mythos behind each individual member and all this crazy stuff that happened. And I keep getting the same thing from Jane's Addiction, like it sounds like a rock band, right? And they're raging, but it's like to their fans, it's like so much deeper than that. Like it's all the individual members and like the legendary stories that they heard from their escapades all around the country and all around the world. And I think that's what can make a band so special, is not just the music, but the story behind it and how people can put themselves in that story. And so that's what I was thinking about while listening to this.
Hell yeah.
How about you, Adam?
This song, this is a dope song. It makes me want to exist in a universe where everything is in black and white. I'm in a grungy, beaten up like venue where someone has smashed, like I think of like playing the Canal Club in Richmond, where my guitar player like smashed his guitar on a pillar like in the middle of our set, and like I want to be in that space. I want to be in black and white. I want the frame rate to be off so it's a little choppy. I want to be taking some shot that's lit on fire, wearing my leather jacket, and then I want to go in the mosh pit and just like feel like I'm a rock star along with them,
and get your shoes stolen.
It's exactly, and like maybe get into an altercation with someone in the mosh pit, and like drink
makes me want to get into a fight,
like smash a beer bottle later. Like it's just a perfect distillate of like that kind of like snapshot of like a rock moment for me, and I don't know, it's very satisfying, and it just takes me back through some lackluster tour memories where we got in some trouble.
It's just like having like that oomph, you know what I mean? Like you can still be funky and you can still be inspiring, but some people, like, you just gotta like bring that like that grr, you know what I mean?
I think one of the other things I liked about them so much is that they brought the heat, they brought the heavy metal, they brought the funkiness, but they also brought psychedelic to the thing. Because they would 100%. Get really trippy during their in their albums, even in their albums on songs that you wouldn't even expect, even like Mountain Song or something like that, right? Gets really weird and trippy in the middle of it. You're like, am I listening to the same song? Which is one of those things that jam bands do. They would just do it in a shorter amount of time, although they have 10-minute songs as well. But they would do it in a shorter amount of time. But it's that whole thing where you're listening to the song and all of a sudden you're taken into a totally different place you didn't think was going to happen. Type 2. And then you would come back, and that was kind of like my first experience of that, was them. And I remember when they released 3 Days, one of the songs on Ritual de lo Habitual, I was obsessed with that song. But I love everything off of Nothing Shocking, and I was in a cover band that played almost every one of these songs. So
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. We really appreciate you bringing this song. Why don't we finish it up?
let's go ahead and do it.
Lit.
Yeah, that's a universe that like would get draining to live in every single day, but that's a universe that I need every now and then.
Yeah.
Like every now and
Totally.
then I just need to exist in that space.
Yeah, and one cool thing about this image that we were looking at, frontman Perry Farrell created the cover image, which features a sculpture of nude female conjoined twins on a rocking chair with their heads on fire. He hired Warner Brothers employees to create the sculpture, but after learning how to create sculptures by watching them closely, he fired them and created the artwork himself. Owing to the cover,
Wow.
9 of the 11 leading record store chains refused to carry this record, and it was issued with a brown paper, like in a brown paper bag.
Yeah, that's
I
how I got
remember
it.
that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
funny.
That's
you
rock
know?
and roll right there.
Don't they know how that's going to make it more notorious and
It
everything?
was also close to that time where Tipper Gore was out doing this whole campaign against
Totally.
like the whole parental advisory thing.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
That's when that all started happening, was around that time as well. So
Yeah.
it was that whole like thing was in Washington and hearings and all this other kind of stuff about trying to protect people.
And again, James was just so influential for me because again, it was when I was graduating high school and just getting out in the world, and they represent everything that to me rock and roll was about, in the sense of just incredibly amazing rock, but it has a point, right? You know, that whole song obviously clearly is about religion and God, and you know, he brings it to a point and kind of divulges the metaphor when he says God is dead. But you know, like that is so, to me, what music is really about is its art form and its ability to have social commentary. And again, like I said before, to be able to bring people together in a space, but then utilize that space to make a difference and encourage people to actually engage in our world and make things better, you know? And so I just have so much respect for those guys and what they've done.
Strong words from Ian Goldberg, founder of Summer Camp Festival. Thank you again so much for sharing that amazing song with us. A really strong first pick. We appreciate it. Hi, this is Mike with Galaxy Jams Reacts. We hope that you enjoyed that React video. Be sure to check out the links below of when we're going to be live streaming our next show, and also how to watch full episodes. Please hit that subscribe button. Every single one helps.